friends, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a meal plan that I created to help myself and help you hit 150 grams of protein in a day. If you're new around here, my name's Melanie. I am a stay-at-home mom of 4. I have health and fitness goals, so all of my meals are geared around hitting my protein goals first and foremost, feeding my family well, feeding my body well, and not going crazy overboard on the calories. Although I don't really count my calories because I just don't. I kind of know how I like to eat and what's good for my body, and I focus on that instead. And if I'm going to count anything, it is my protein. So that's what I'm doing today, but all of the meals, the meal plan, the macros, so if you do count calories or you do care about things like the protein in each meal or snack, the fat, the carbs, I've done all of the hard work. I've put it in a meal plan and I've included the recipes for you. So hopefully that helps you. I know it will help me this week as I'm kind of thinking ahead, wanting to hit my protein goals. And if I'm being completely honest, I originally planned this meal plan as a meal prep. So if you want to meal prep at all, that is an awesome idea and I think that would be really helpful. I just have had a really crazy busy week and I just didn't get around to meal prepping. So what I'm gonna do is just make each meal as I go throughout my days, and I will try to make extra so that I can use it throughout the week. So that is today's video. I hope you find it helpful, and make sure to grab the free meal plan in the description box below, and also it has all the recipes included. And make sure to like and subscribe so that you don't miss a future video. So I'm gonna make a high protein egg white, and cottage cheese bake. It's kind of like a frittata, but I don't want to call it a frittata because it has a lot of cottage cheese in it, so I feel like that's not really a frittata, but it's kind of got the same vibes. It's gonna make about 4 servings and it will get you about 35 grams of protein, so it's gonna be a really good breakfast option, or if you don't mind having eggs anytime in the day, maybe a lunch with a side of salad. It's just gonna be a really good high protein food to have in the fridge ready to go, especially if you're having like a really crazy day or a busy week and you don't want to have to think about breakfast or lunch. This will be really good, or at least I hope it will be really good. I anticipate it will be. I love having recipes like this in my back pocket, ones that you know are just packed with protein, really easy to prep in advance. You can make it the day before, like I'm actually doing here, and when you cut it into 4 pieces, it's going to give you 34 grams of protein per serving and 269 calories, which is really great. It's also a really versatile dish. You can have it for breakfast with some toast. You can pair it with a salad or a soup for lunch. It's just really, really practical, very simple to make, and it stores great in the fridge. For this recipe, I'm using 6 whole eggs, and to add even more protein, I'm going to be including 1.5 cups of egg whites as well. And then I'm also adding 1 whole cup of cottage cheese. And this is an ingredient I use all the time because it's a really simple way to add more protein to basically any meal. And I'm actually going to be using cottage cheese in another recipe, but this one, once it's baked, you don't even notice that it's in there, and it just makes everything really light and fluffy. For the veggies that I'm adding, it's a great way to use up whatever fresh ingredients that you have in your fridge already. So feel free to change things up. You don't have to make it exactly like I am. I'm adding in some fresh diced tomato. I have spinach and green onion, but you can really switch it up based on what you have. You just want to be careful with some of the ingredients that have a lot of moisture, like tomatoes. I recommend patting them dry and just making sure you get out as much of the liquid as possible. Otherwise, it might be a little bit too liquidy and it might get a bit soggy. Okay, call me weird, but I actually love it when I'm getting low on groceries because it forces me to get creative with the foods that I do have, and I'm not a big fan of waste, so if I can find creative ways to use the ingredients that I have, and sometimes that means using it in ways that you typically wouldn't. Things like lunch meat. I'm obviously not making a sandwich today with it. I am adding it to this egg bake and just chopping it up and baking it with the eggs. It's gonna give us extra protein, and it's just kind of an out-of-the-box thing that's really simple and also uses up something that was already in my fridge. For flavor, I added in some smoked paprika, which if you've been following my videos for a little while, you know that's my favorite spice to add. I just love it so much. I'm also adding in a bit of garlic powder, Italian seasoning, salt, and pepper. You want to make sure you combine all of the ingredients and then take out a square baking dish. I am an old-fashioned girl and I like greasing my dish with butter. I find sometimes the nonstick sprays, they just don't work quite as well. So you do you, whatever you like to do, but I am using butter, and then you just pour it in, throw it in the oven at 375, and you kind of want to keep an eye on it. Set your timer for 35 minutes and have a peek, see if the center is jiggly. And if it is still kind of jiggly like mine is here, set your timer for another 5 or 6 minutes. And once the center has set, you can just let it cool and slice it into 4 pieces. Cameraman. The next recipe is another meal prep friendly recipe. You can double or even triple this recipe and have a bunch of chia seed puddings sitting in your fridge ready to be enjoyed. All of my family members love chia seed pudding. So sometimes I will get creative with my kids and make like peanut butter and jelly chia seed puddings or chocolate. It's just really fun to play around with different flavors. Today's pudding is a little bit more on the basic side, which I don't mind. I kind of like keeping things simple, but you can feel free to get creative if you want to add different ingredients than I am. I just started with some unsweetened almond milk as my base, and then I added some plain Greek yogurt and chia seeds, and then you just stir everything together. And it's going to seem a little bit liquidy, but once it sits in the fridge for a while, it will thicken up. And then for a little bit of extra protein, I'm adding in half a scoop of my whey isolate protein powder. And depending on how sweet your protein powder is, you may want to add a little bit of honey or another sweetener if you like. I personally like it like this, but if you feel like it's not sweet enough, you can always drizzle a little bit of honey on top when you're serving it. I am loving cinnamon and all things fall right now, so cinnamon tastes really delicious with this. Once you've mixed everything together, you want to put it in your fridge and leave it for at least 4 hours because it does take some time to get a little bit thick. And after a couple of hours, you may want to stir it one more time because sometimes the chia seeds will sit at the bottom and kind of clump together. And this chia seed pudding is 29 grams of protein. Perfect post-workout snack. Oh, it's perfect. Look at the texture. You see that? Oh, it's just perfection. Today is a really busy day for me, and on days like today, I do not want to be in my kitchen cooking. I want to whip up something that's really fast, easy to take on the go, and yeah, just really, really simple. So this isn't going to be like world's best recipe, but it's definitely going to be easy to make. It's not going to take a lot of time. It's still going to taste really yummy, and it's just going to be really practical lunch. So I'm also going to meal prep this. So I'll have a couple of lunches ready to go in my fridge for the next couple of days. So I'll double this recipe, and it's going to be a simple canned tuna with chickpea salad, and it's really easy to just mix everything together, put it in a container in the fridge, and then when serving it, you have a couple of options. You can use, look at this, isn't that beautiful? We have like a huge romaine lettuce here that I'm going to just put the tuna chickpea salad inside and eat it that way. But you could also chop up your lettuce, make it a salad. You could put it in a wrap. You could put it on top of some toast if you like. It's totally up to you how you want to serve this. But just know with this recipe, you're going to be getting lots of protein. I will include the exact macros for the tuna and chickpea portion of this recipe so that you know exactly how much protein is in it. And then if you want to add some carbs to it, or you wanna just add something else to go with it, you can just input that in your macro tracker. If you're tracking, of course. If not, don't worry. All right, I'm gonna show you how I make this. So to start with this recipe, 1 serving, you're going to need half a can of tuna. So I'm gonna just double it. I'm gonna have a whole can open anyway, so you might as well double it if you're making this recipe. So we have 1 can of tuna. We're just gonna open it and strain out all of that liquid that's inside. Try to get the tuna that's packed in water, not packed in oil. That's preferred. So just get all that liquid out, and then we're going to combine the rest of the ingredients. So I have some leftover chickpeas in my fridge, but these are just canned chickpeas. And 1 serving, I'm going to use 1/3 cup of chickpeas, but since I'm doubling it, 2/3 of a cup. And we're just gonna add it right in with the tuna. There we go. Pop that lid back on, throw it back in the fridge. Just take out your cutting board. Sorry, I realize this isn't the best angle. Maybe I should change something here. I have some leftover bell pepper. You can really use as much as you like. I'm just gonna chop it up. I'll just take that, add it in the bowl. Got a green onion. Just gonna give that a quick wash. Probably good. Parsley. Ever since I was a little girl, I loved pickles. And even though I'm not a kid anymore, I'm 33 years old with 4 kids of my own, I still love me some pickles. So I am chopping up a couple of pickles and adding it in the bowl. And don't put the pickles away because we're actually going to be using some of the pickle juice in with our dressing. I know that might sound a little bit strange, but trust me on this, it adds a really nice tang and a delicious flavor. I'm also adding Greek yogurt, once again, another one of my favorite high protein foods. I have lemon juice, Dijon mustard, a little bit of olive oil. And remember, I have the exact measurements for all of these ingredients in that free document. And here's that pickle juice. I'm adding in 2 tablespoons. And as much as I love pickles, I am not weird like my dad and will just drink straight pickle juice. I think that is so strange. Although I will add it to sauces and dressings like this, but I won't go that far. So I'm just going to mix the dressing very well. So there's the dressing. It's really light. You can kind of see it there. And just going to mix this salad. Get some lettuce leaves if you're doing lettuce cups. Just lay them down like this. I'm hoping this works.
I'm hoping this works.
Are you?
Do everything.
Okay.
Do us everything.
And now we're going to divide this in half. I'll save half for my lunch tomorrow. And I'm just going to lay it in the middle, and I'm going to use these like little wraps.
Oh yeah.
This one's a little smaller. If you want to add a little bit more carbs, you could definitely do this on bread, or you could put it in a wrap, whatever you like. This is such a simple lunch, super practical, lots of protein, and I'm very sad that I do not have Swiss cheese in my fridge right now, but that would be amazing to add with this as well if you have a light Swiss cheese. Let's give this a little taste.
Try
You gonna try? You wanna try my lettuce wrap?
Yeah.
Or do you wanna try my salad?
I can try both. Oh, that one looks good.
Does it look good?
Uh-huh.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Good?
Yeah? To pass the taste test?
Mm-hmm.
You wanna finish that? Good?
Yeah.
All right.
You try.
I'm gonna try it. And since I don't have Swiss cheese, which I really wish I did, I'm going to add a little bit of cottage cheese, and that's just gonna give us a little bit of extra protein as well. This is the tricky part. Actually, it's working pretty well.
This is the best thing my mom ever made.
For real?
Yeah.
It's not the best thing I've ever made.
It is.
It's not like anything spectacular. I mean, it's good, but
One more.
all right, bite. Well, I'm glad you like it. Yum. Okay. All right. Pretty good. Well, it finally feels like fall has officially arrived. We have had a really warm start to the season, but this morning we actually woke up to frost on the ground, which in some ways it's a little bit sad. I'm not a fan of the cold, but I am a Canadian girl, so I mean, I just gotta suck it up and get used to it. All of this is to say that I am making a delicious, warm and cozy, comforting bowl of chili today, or comforting pot of chili. This is going to make 8 servings. So I made this for the entire family, and then I still had leftovers to get me through a couple more days during this week. Chili is definitely a high protein meal to begin with, but there are a few ways that I actually make it even higher in protein, and I'll explain what I like to do. So instead of using only 1 pound of ground beef, I decided to double that. So there's 2 pounds of ground meat in here, and I like to brown my meat and then get the fat out of the pot. And I don't know if this was the best method or not, but it worked. I just dumped it into a separate pot, and then I browned all of my veggies. So I have onions and garlic and bell pepper. And then what I'm going to do in a little bit is add that meat back into the pot, but I will kind of strain it out first so that the fat is left behind and I'm not putting all of the fat back into the pot. Of course, I'm adding lots of chili powder and ground cumin. I also like to add onion powder and garlic powder, but I do have a secret spice. No, it's not my smoked paprika, because that is not a secret anymore. It is actually cinnamon. Does that sound really weird? You don't want to add too much cinnamon, but just a pinch of cinnamon to chili, it just gives it this wonderful, warm, I can't even explain it. It just balances the flavors really nicely. You only need a little bit and it just tastes so yummy. So once I've added all of the spices in, I like to add my tomato paste and just warm it on the pan first. It just deepens the flavor a little bit, and then I'm going to be adding in a bone broth along with my diced tomatoes and crushed tomatoes. Bone broth has lots of protein in it, so this is a really simple way to get more protein in a soup or any kind of meal where you need to add a broth. Instead of using a regular chicken stock or beef broth, try using a bone broth instead. If you can find fire roasted diced tomatoes, that will definitely level up your chili. And you're also going to add some crushed tomatoes, and hopefully yours is a little easier to open than mine. Oh, these are so hard to open. Oh yeah!
I got it. I got it.
Woo! High five. Mom did it. I did it. Puppies. Beans, the wonderful fruit, the more you eat. Okay, we're not gonna go there. My kids love to sing that little rhyme. Beans are an awesome food. They are so full of fiber, they have protein, they're really budget friendly. And fun fact for you, different beans will actually give you slightly different nutrients. Black beans have lots of antioxidants and navy beans have lots of folate. So you can kind of pick and choose whatever beans your body needs, or you can do like I did and just pick whatever is in your pantry at that time. And a fun ingredient that I added to my chili are these chopped green chilies. Typically you can find them in the taco section, but they go really well with chili and it's just a nice way to add extra flavor into your pot. Something my family prioritizes is sitting down and enjoying home-cooked meals together. One of my biggest passions is definitely cooking and creating something from scratch, but ultimately at the end of the day, my favorite thing is sitting down and enjoying it with another person. I know some people don't have family close by, or you may not have too many friends, or you might feel lonely. And if I'm being completely honest, I actually feel that way a lot of the time. Being a stay-at-home mom, sometimes it can feel like a lonely thing being at home with little people and not having any adults to talk to. But I do find at the end of the day when I can sit down with my entire family and my husband and enjoy a home-cooked meal together, it just fills me up and does so much for my soul and my body. Well, to end off this day, I'm having an evening snack. I'm having a turkey stick with some sliced apple and peanut butter. I hope you found today's video helpful, and I truly am grateful for each and every one of you. I feel like we have become friends, and I look forward to seeing you every week. Bye for now.